This is my fourth and final installment of the new releases that I'm reviewing. We have 3 left in this video, so thanks for sticking with me. Again, I'm Chrissy. It's my YouTube channel, Chrissy Love, where I talk about fragrance. I'm on Instagram. I have a merch shop. All the info is down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Cool. So I'm going to talk about Daisy Love Paradise, which is the most recent flanker to Daisy Love. I love. It's a fruity, delicious cloudberryness, and I adore it. And I really do like the Paradise flanker as well, though not quite as much as the original. But let's get to that. This has top note of iris, middle note of patchouli, and base note of whipped cream. And so on first spray, this is like an oily sunscreen note to it with some green notes, and I don't love that. In the dry down though, it's this like creamy sweetness over the top of the original Daisy Love DNA. So though it's not the most complex or different of the flankers, I do think it is really nice to have that DNA played with a little bit, and it is like creamy, yummy, and delicious. Others report getting more florals out of it than I do. Maybe it's just my skin. So others might find it to be a little more interesting than I do on my skin. Performance-wise, though, it does last all day and has reasonable projection. The other ones we have are Oh So Sweet, which has raspberries, blackberries, and sugar. That's a really good one. Skies has cloudberries, raspberries, and whipped cream. And Days has an apricot. I have not tried Sunshine, which is supposedly, it has more citrus in it, that came out in 2019. So I think they're doing great with the flankers. I think that Paradise is the least favorite of mine of the flankers. But since I love the original DNA, it still is a winner in my book. I will link below to my reviews of the Daisy Love Skies and Daisy Love Days below, since I do have those all ready to go for you. Second, I have Sol de Janeiro After Hours. And so this is the most recent release from Sol de Janeiro. These things come and go so quickly. I regretted a long time ago not buying Anita, for example, when it came out. So now I, without question, buy every single one that comes out and kind of ask questions later. I also bought this one because my boyfriend and I produced a film called After Hours, and so it kind of just had to happen. I had to buy this. So let's talk about notes. This has top notes of blackcurrant, pear, and nectar. Oh, sorry, blackcurrant and pear nectar. Middle notes of midnight jasmine, vanilla cream, and lush freesia. And base notes of amber woods and caramelized patchouli. Now the patchouli does stand out the most for me on my skin. It obviously doesn't develop really. Like there's not really multiple mid and end notes on this or any of their sprays on me really. I think this is more of like a cheap body spray smell. There's a fair amount of sweetness. I get a powdery jasmine undertone. But the patchouli just for some reason smells like kind of cheap and kind of uninteresting. So it's definitely not my favorite of these Sol de Janeiros. It's fine. It's cheap. It's like $24. It's not a horrible investment. But yeah, it's not definitely my favorite, but it does have like a darkness to it that I guess does play into the whole after hours thing. And finally, I have Ondine La Playa or Ondine La Playa. So Ondine is a company that I kind of partnered with a little bit before. They're from Vermont. Their perfumes are made the good old-fashioned way using real plant essences and nothing else funky added to them. I did a whole video of their collection, met with them, really learned about who they are as people. They're amazing, kind, generous people. And they actually changed up their packaging recently, and I love it. So this is what the case looks like now. I don't have the old packaging. It was like 2 years ago I reviewed them. But and this is what the bottle looks like. So La Playa is their most recent addition to their collection. And they don't do these rapid fire. It took a while to get this new addition to the collection. So notes-wise, it has bergamot, clementine, white lotus, lavender, sandalwood, vanilla, labdanum, ambrette, oak moss, and they just use ethyl alcohol in them and no other ingredients, which is really nice. So these are, in my opinion, at home, I feel safe like spraying them in the air as room freshener, which usually freaks me out when there's like chemicals and stuff, in a diffuser. So I love that quality to them, that they do have a more natural smell to them. They don't have like commercial smell to them, but it reads more as like essential oils. So this reminds me at first spray of like eating a lemon gelato on a summer day. It's very refreshing. It has solar notes. It has this zesty, realistic lemon to it with a bit of like creamy sweetness. So it's very decadent in the opening. And the deep dry down reminds me of a vintage smelling vanilla with this hint of aldehydes to it. So it does remind me a lot of Shalimar between like the lemon, the vintage vanilla, the aldehydes. Performance-wise, it's fantastic. It lasts, projects, it's really wonderful. And the way they describe it on the website is baked in the salt, sand, and sun. So it's supposed to be like a lighthearted, beachy kind of scent. I think it's more elevated than that even. I think it's beautiful. It's definitely my favorite of their line that I've gotten my nose on. I've gotten my nose on all of them, so it's my favorite. Yeah, so those are the new releases I want to talk about. That is the end of my 4-video piece here. Thanks so much for sticking with me. And let me know your thoughts, what new releases you have or would like to have. And thanks for being here. Hope you have a very beautiful day.